Okay, I'm going to show you how to make a faux entrelac sock for the 40 peg loom. Okay, and I'll give you a written up for any smaller sizes, but I'm going to stick with the 40 peg because I figure most people are going to want the adult sizing, and the 40 peg's about average. So we need to get started. Now, I've already done the math for you, so you don't have to do this, and interchanging this between sock looms is probably going to be complicated. If you can figure it out, good for you. Alright. So, another pattern that's not easy. There's a lot to keep up with on this. It's not like the techniques are difficult. You're not really moving a whole bunch of stitches around, but you are having to keep up with where you're beginning and ending and that kind of thing. So typically you do have a black marker or a different colored peg for your starting peg, but this was the prototype from years ago. So I'm going to have to mark my starting peg. Alright, I'm going to take and I'm going to have two different colors here. Alright, I'm going to mark my first section of diamonds that I'm going to be doing, and I'm going to be marking my second section of diamonds I'm going to be doing. I'm going to be doing 8 stitches, okay? So I'm going to count over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then I'm going to put a stitch marker on the 9th peg. Alright, and what that's doing is that's showing me that section beginning and ends, so that your stitch marker is the beginning of each section. Alright, keep that in mind. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Place it on the 9th peg. Count your stitch marker peg. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Put it on the 9th peg. Alright. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Place it on the 9th peg. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And there you go. That evens out. Alright, now we need to have our inter bits, okay? We need to have the ones that are going to be in between our first section of diamonds, alright? So what we want to do is we have middle joins, okay? So what I want to do is, because you have 2 in the middle rather than a single for your diamond, okay? Because we're doing an even number. Alright, so here's your ends. Alright, what you're going to do is you're going to calculate over 5. Alright, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Put a stitch marker. Alright, and it's because that is where your starting point is. You're going to knit all the way over, and then you're going to start working out, and that'll make sense in a bit, okay? So we're going to calculate over 5, and we're going to go around and we're going to calculate over 5 here. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Put a stitch marker. And then from our next stitch marker, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Put a stitch marker. Calculating from our next stitch marker, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we need one more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Alright. So what you're looking at is everything looks pretty even on the stitch markers, alright? And I have my 2 colors. So I have gold and I have a silver that I'm working with. The gold represents my first layer, and the silver represents my second layer of diamonds, alright? We're going to do a cuff down, okay? So what you want to do, and what I am using for my yarn, because this type of yarn and the unforgettable yarn from Red Heart works the best for this entrelac and socks. There's quick enough color change, but not too quick and not too slow. So I would suggest using the landscapes or the unforgettable and the Red Heart, anything that's like this, because it has the best color change, and it changes up quick enough to where you can see it in the diamonds and it really pops the pattern more. It has 147 yards. Now I got 2 skeins because they don't give you a whole lot of yardage in this. Okay, so I got 2 skeins and it's a medium weight, so it's a worsted weight. And I love the landscapes because a lot of times they'll show you a swatching, but it's not going to really matter much because I'm going to be doing diamonds instead of straight knitting. So what you want to do is you want to E-wrap cast on because this is the top of the cuff. Now I want a small rib stitch top, so I'm going to do a rib stitch of knit 2, purl 2 for like 5 rows. And I'm going to do it in the round just to add me a nice little cuff area. So I'll get you started with that, but I'm not going to spend a lot of time on a rib stitch because you should understand if you're working on a pattern like this how to do the rib stitch. So you're going to knit 2, purl 2 all the way around for 5 rows. Pause the video, get that much done of knit 2, purl 2 for 5 rows in the round. Okay. I've done my rib stitch to give me a nice top. Now, what I want to do now is I want to prep to start working my faux entrelac. And so this row is the only time I do this. Alright, and then after that you start working diamonds. We're going to be working in between our 2 gold stitch markers right here. But remember, this one starts the next 8. So we're going to stop just before that one. So what you want to do is you're going to make half a diamond. Okay. So what you want to do is you want to knit your way over. And you're going to stop. Then you're going to wrap and turn that next peg. And knit your way over. Okay, remember we're stopping before our stitch marker over there because it starts the next set of 8. Wrap and turn and knit your way over. I'm going to try to go a little slower with this. I was told I was a little too fast with the Faux Entrelac hat. Wrap and turn just before the peg before the last wrap and turn. Okay, you're going to knit your way over. Then you're going to wrap and turn back to front. There's your next one. Knit your way over. Wrap and turn. Wrap and turn, and then you're going to stop. Okay, because we have an even number, we're going to have 2 single stitch pegs in between, or wraps and turns, which means you should have a total of 6 wraps and turns, 3 on each side, as you can see. See? 3 and 3. Now, we need to move to our next 8. How do we do that? We knit 2 together. To our stitch marker. So knit 2 together 3 times, and we're to our starting point on our next one. Okay, now we're going to knit over 7 again. We're going to repeat what we just did. Okay, we're going to wrap and turn. See, there's our stitch marker to know that that's when our next 8 start. Wrap and turn. Knit 6, wrap and turn, knit 5, wrap and turn, knit 4, wrap and turn, knit 3, wrap and turn, knit 2, wrap and turn, knit 2. Then we want to get set up for our next 8. So we knit 2 together 3 times. Here's 2 and 3. That gets us started with the next set. Okay, and we're going to repeat that again. I'm going to show you that again. So you're going to knit your way over. Stop just before that stitch marker so you can wrap and turn, because it tells you that's the next start of the next set of 8. So you knit 7, wrap and turn, knit 6, wrap and turn, wrap and turn, knit 5, wrap and turn, knit 4, wrap and turn, knit 3, wrap and turn, knit 2, wrap and turn, knit 2. Alright, we need to get back to our starting point, to our next half diamond. So what we want to do is knit 2 together 3 times. There's 1, 2, and 3. Okay, you have to do that 2 more times, so go ahead and pause the video and complete that 2 more times, and then I'll show you how to start doing the next step, which is a full diamond, but there's a row you have to do in between. Okay, so go ahead and do your next 2 half diamonds, which is the only time you do this. Alright, and pause the video, complete this, and then I will show you what to go and do next. Okay, we are now to our next step. So it should kind of look like a little pentagon in the middle there. Okay, so next step is you've got to purl everything. If it's got 2 stitches, purl it together. If it's got 1, purl it. So our first thing is we'll need to purl 2 together 3 times. So this is 1, 2, 3. See that? Purl 2 together 3 times. Then you're just going to purl 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Alright, you're going to repeat what we just did. You're going to purl 2 together 3 times. 1, 2, 3, and then purl 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Alright, you're going to repeat that, what we just did, 2 times. You're going to repeat it all the way around. If you've got 2 stitches on it, you need to purl them together. If you've got single stitches, purl them. Basically, it's just a purled row. You're just getting everything back to set up to do the next set of diamonding. Okay, we've purled our way around. We're ready to start our diamonding. Okay, and what I'm going to tell you is this section here is where you're going to do a repeat. Okay, you're going to keep up with this as much as you can. Alright, well, we just worked between these 2. Alright, so we worked this 8. We need to do the stagger. Alright, so This is the start of your 8. All right. So what you want to do is you want to knit over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. So you want to knit your way over. All right. So I'm going to count over 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which shows that I'm stopping at that stitch marker there. Okay, so what you're going to do is you're going to knit your way over. So I knit my way over to the stitch marker. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then here's my stitch marker. So here's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, we're going to stop here. We're going to work here. We're going to work our way out because we're starting at the bottom point of a diamond. We're going to work our way out and then back to the top again. All right, so we're starting in our middle, and because it's 8, we have 2 pegs in the middle. All right, so it's 4 and 5 as our middle pegs. So we're going to wrap and turn, and we're going to knit 2. Okay, and then we're going to wrap and turn, and we're going to knit 2, and then knit 2 together. Wrap and turn, knit 3, knit 2 together. Wrap and turn, knit 4, knit 2 together, wrap and turn, knit 5, knit 2 together, and then you're going to wrap and turn. Now we've reached our outer points of our diamond. So we've worked the diamond up. Now we need to go back to the top point. All right, so you're going to knit over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, wrap and turn, knit 1, 2, 3, 4, wrap and turn, knit 1, 2, 3, wrap and turn, and knit 2. Wrap and turn, knit 2. You've now just created a complete diamond. You've worked out and back up to the point. But you need to be able to get over to your next section to start your next diamond. So to complete this diamond, you're going to knit 2 together 3 times. So there's 1, 2, 3. To work the next diamond, we knit over 5. All right. So we're going to knit over 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're now at the bottom point of our next diamond. So we're going to wrap and turn, knit 2, wrap and turn, knit 2, knit 2 together, wrap and turn, knit 3, knit 2 together, wrap and turn, knit 4, knit 2 together, wrap and turn, knit 5, oops, knit 2 together, and then wrap and turn. And now you're going to start working from the outer points back up to that top point. And here's how you do that. Knit 5, okay, your wrap and turn, knit 4, wrap and turn, knit 3, wrap and turn, knit 2, wrap and turn, knit 2. You've just completed another diamond. Okay. Now in order to start your next diamond, you're going to knit 2 together 3 times. So there's 1, and there's 2, there's 3, and then we're at our starting point for our next diamond. So then we're going to knit over 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Alrighty. And now we're ready to start our diamond again. Now you're going to do this 3 more times, okay? Over here you're going to do a crossover section, alright? And that's okay, because you're going to end where you're supposed to, where you can just purl your way around. So go ahead and pause the video and complete 3 more diamonds, and I'll show you where the stopping point is. So just stop when you reach the top of the last diamond. Alright, so go ahead, pause the video, complete 3 more diamonds, and we'll go from there. Okay, I'm fixing to do my last diamond on the set, and I figured I'd go ahead and show you, since it might be a little confusing. I've worked my way to the center point, which is, yes, your starting point, but we're going to work back and forth. So I've already knit my way over to 5. I'm going to wrap and turn, knit 2, wrap and turn, knit 2, knit 2 together, wrap and turn, knit 3, knit 2 together, wrap and turn, knit 4, knit 2 together, wrap and turn, knit 5, knit 2 together, and wrap and turn. We're now working our way to the back to the top point. So knit 5, wrap and turn, knit 4, wrap and turn, knit 3, wrap and turn, knit 2, wrap and turn, knit 2. Alrighty, here's how it goes. Yes, we're at our starting point. At this point, you want to purl your way over. Okay. So what you want to do is you want to purl 2 together. And yes, you aren't going to get in that very first peg, but it's okay. Alright, so you want to purl 2 together. Six times, actually, because you have an overlap on the starting point. So purl 2 together 6 times just at this side, and then you're gonna purl 5. Then it's gonna go back to fairly normal. Purl 3 together, purl 3 together, purl 5 together. Purl 5. Sorry. Purl 2 together 3 times, and then purl 5. So we're back to what we're at normally. So purl 2 together 3 times. Then purl 5. Okay. And I'm going to tell you to pause the video and complete this purling row, and then I will show you the next diamonding set. And we're almost to where I can tell you it's a repeat. Alright. So we'll complete to where we need to purl 2 together 3 times. Alright, so go ahead and purl everything together and get back to your starting point here. And then I will show you how to do the next set of diamonding. And because we only did half diamonds, it's not going to show up as much, but you can see it some. There's a dark purple here and there's a black here. You might not can see it on this camera, but you can see it in person really well. Okay, and because this is our next coloring, it's going to show up. Alright, so when you start doing full diamonding, it's really going to start popping. But on the half diamond, you may not see it as much as when you start to do the full diamonding. Okay, so go ahead and pause the video, get everything purled, and then I will show you how to set up the stagger diamond, and then I'll tell you to repeat, and then we'll move on to the heel, which is also the faux entrelac, which I'll tell you the special trick to that one. Okay, we've worked our way around, and on the last one you should have purled 2 together 3 times and then just purled 1. Alright, so we are now back to a starting point and ready to start our next set of diamonding, which we will be working between the gold again instead of the silver. So we're going to start off and we're going to knit in to the 5th peg, which should be your silver stitch marker. Okay, so in a way, when you're doing your stagger, it's the, like what the last row, it was the gold that you knit to the middle as your middle point stitch marker. With the gold outer, you're going to knit to the silver as your middle point stitch marker. Okay, so you're going to knit over 5, and you're going to wrap and turn, and you're going to knit 2. You're going to wrap and turn, you're going to knit 2, and then you're going to knit 2 together. Wrap and turn, knit 3, knit 2 together, wrap and turn, knit 4, knit 2 together, wrap and turn, knit 5, knit 2 together, wrap and turn, knit 5, wrap and turn, knit 4, wrap and turn, knit 3, wrap and turn, knit 2, wrap and turn, knit 2, and you're at your top point of the diamond. And you can kind of see that here. You can see where your middle point is, and then you can see where your top point is. Alright, so in order to get back to your starting point, knit 2 together 3 times. Okay, and we're ready to start our next diamond. And we need to get to our middle point, which is our silver here. So we're going to knit over 5. I'm going to show you this one more time. I'm going to tell you to complete the row. So here's knit over 5, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're at our bottom point here, and we're going to work our way out. So wrap and turn, knit 2, wrap and turn, knit 2, knit 2 together, wrap and turn, knit 3, knit 2 together, wrap and turn, knit 4, knit 2 together, wrap and turn, knit 5, knit 2 together, make a wrap and turn, knit 5, wrap and turn, knit 4, wrap and turn, knit 3, wrap and turn, knit 2, wrap and turn, knit 2. You've just completed another diamond. Then you're going to knit 2 together 3 times to get yourself back to a starting point of your next section on a diamond. And you can see now that the diamonds are starting to show up. There's a diamond, there's a diamond. Okay, so you're starting to see it show up more. Okay, so go ahead and pause the video and complete this row, and it should stop where it should at the starting point here. Okay, and then I'll show you the next row after that, and then what you'll do is you'll repeat the last 2 diamond things that we did one more time, and then I'll show you the heel. So go ahead and complete this row, and then I'll show you the rest of the set, and then I'll explain what to do next. Okay, we're to the last row of our set, which then we will go to a repeat, which goes to the first diamond, complete diamond that we do. Okay, so at this point it's going to kind of work like our first row of purling. So we're going to purl 2 together 3 times, and then we're going to purl 5 all the way around. So here's our purl 3 together and purl 5. So go ahead and pause the video and get your purled row done. Okay, and then you want to go back to our first complete diamond that I explained would be our first diamond. Okay, you're going to go back to that section of the video, and what you're going to do at that point is follow from there. You're going to complete this 2 diamond set that we just did one more time, so that you should have a total of complete 4 diamonds. So here's 1, 2. You should have 2 more. 1, 2. So you should have 4, and then we will be working on our heel. And the heel is going to be a little interesting. Okay, so go ahead and pause the video and complete this row of purls, and then get started again on your next diamond set, which is in the stagger, working between the 2 silvers rather than the 2 golds. Then do a purl row, then work between your 2 golds, and then do a purled row. Okay, so just follow the video from the time I tell you that you're doing our first full diamond, and then go from there. And then when you're done with that, come back to the video and I will show you how to do the heel, which is a complicated spot in order to keep this diamond pattern going. Alright, so pause the video, get that much done, and then we'll go from there. As you can see, there is your diamonding showing up. Okay, I need to do my heel next. And so what I want to do is I want to knit my way over 5, and then I'm going to do 3 diamonds, and then I'm going to stop, do 2 in the middle there, and then do 1, and then do 2, and then do 3. Because we're not doing the short rows, so you have to do things a little differently than you might would in the past, because you're creating these diamonds to create the section for the heel. So you're shaping with diamonds. Alright, so what you want to do is you want to knit over to your stitch marker right here, which is your 5th one. Okay, wrap and turn So you're going to create your first diamond, wrap and turn. I'm going to go through the diamonding really quickly because it's pretty much what you've been doing, so you should have this pretty well established at this point. Okay, so we're going to do 3 diamonds, and then I will show you how to set up for the next section, which is where this gets complicated. So the first diamonds are easy. It's when you start doing the other ones and setting up to do the next that it gets more complicated. But it's worth the effect, I think. Knit 2 together to start setting up to do your next diamond. Okay, so we're fixing to start this diamond. So knit 5. Then start your diamonding. So again, we're doing 3 diamonds first, and then we start really setting up for our heel. So that's when it gets challenging. So I am running through this kind of quickly because this is what you've been doing. And this is going to be kind of a long video too, so about got it set up. Now your heel will not have the color changing like doing single rounds will, because you're stacking diamonds right on top of each other. So your heel might actually be closer to the same color of all the same color in general, but it might not be. Depends on what striping you're using. If you're using a naturally striping yarn, it works fine. Okay, let's set up for our next one. So that's 2 diamonds completed. And you can see that, 1, 2. We're going to complete a 3rd. So we're going to go and knit over 5 to get our starting bottom point of the diamond, wrap and turn. Let's do 1 more diamond. Almost done with our diamond, so we can work on the next 2. Okay, now here's where we're going to stop. Alright, we've stopped here. Okay, and we've got our 3 diamonds. So there's 1, 2, 3. Alrighty, now we've got to do 2 here. We've got to do 2 here. So what we want to do is we want to purl all our way back to where we can do 2. So we're going to purl our way back. So you're going to purl 2. Then you're going to purl 2 together 3 times. You're going to purl 2, which means you're passing another diamond. You're passing the middle diamond. Do purl 2. You're at that top point. And then you're going to purl 3 more. So you're going to purl 5. So you're going to purl those 5, okay. And we're going to go back more because I don't see that I'm back far enough, so. And you'll know when you're back far enough. You gotta look at it. Purling 2 together 3 times. Then purl your 5. At least I think it's 5. Hold on, let me check. I'm purling 4 singles. Basically, you're purling to a certain point. I'll explain that. Okay. Alright, I'm pretty sure we're ready to stop. Okay, so here's our 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so our starting point is our silver. Well, we need to get and use our gold. So we're working our way back to this gold, which is 1 gold away from our starting point over here. So that's how you can keep that in mind. You want to stop right where that's at. Alright, now what we're ready to do is we're going to start where we left off, and we're going to knit over 5 to that silver, and then we're going to do a diamond. So we're going to do a diamond like we were doing in between. So we're working in between the gold stitch markers right now. Alright, and I know this is confusing. So we're working between the golds. One more wrap and turn so that we know we're in between our markers here. So there's that. Alright, now we're going to work our way down to our point. We're going to need to cut and move and do a diamond between the next 2 golds. So we're going to do our knit 2 together like we normally would. Okay, the setup's a challenge, but then you go back to something you kind of know. Alright, then you're going to knit 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Alright, so you're going to work to your point out to your outer points and back to your top point. So we're at our bottom point, working our way out, and we'll about completed. We're going to take and purl our way back to this stitch marker. Start where you finished. So purl 2 singles, then purl 2 together 3 times. 1, 2, and 3. Alright. Now what happened here? Make sure no other stitches. Okay. Then purl 4 singles. Okay. Now, starting with the peg we just finished with, knit over 5. So here's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Alright, now you want to start your diamond again. So you're going to wrap and turn, knit 2, wrap and turn, knit 2, knit 2 together, wrap and turn, knit 3, knit 2 together, wrap and turn, knit 4, knit 2 together, wrap and turn, knit 5, knit 2 together, wrap and turn, knit 5, wrap and turn, knit 4, wrap and turn, knit 3, wrap and turn, knit 2, wrap and turn, knit 2. Okay, we've just completed our diamond. So there's our 3, there's our 2, and there's our 1. Alright, now we need to start working our way back out. Okay. So what we want to do is we want to get back to this point over here. So what we want to do is we want to it's an interesting thick spot in the yarn. Okay. What we want to do is I'd like to get back over to here. But what we need to have happen is we need to knit our way over and then purl our way back. The reason being is we want to keep this consistent grooving here. And as you can see, we've kept it to this point, and we want to keep it. So what we want to do is we want to knit 2 together over to here. Okay. So we'll knit 2 together, and then we'll knit 2 together 3 times, knit 1, knit 2 together 3 times, knit 1. Okay. Now you're going to purl your way back to here. Okay. So you're going to start where you left off, and you're going to purl your way back. So you're going to purl 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and you're going to purl 2 together 3 times. So here's 1, here's 2, and here's 3, then single purl, and then purl 2 together 3 more times. 1, 2, and 1 more time, and 3. Okay. We are now at our next starting point to do these 2 diamonds again. Okay. So what you want to do is, starting with the peg you completed with, you're going to knit over 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Alright. Now you're going to do the wrap and turn to do a diamond. So wrap and turn, knit 2, wrap and turn, knit 2, knit 2 together, wrap and turn, knit 3, we're going to have a weird spot in the yarn, knit 2 together, wrap and turn, knit, so weird yarn that'll do this, knit 4, we're going to knit 2 together, okay, wrap and turn, knit 5, gotta get past this nasty part of the yarn, knit 2 together, then wrap and turn, knit 5, there we go, now we're back to normal, wrap and turn, knit 4, wrap and turn, knit 3, wrap and turn, knit 2, wrap and turn, knit 2. Then we're going to knit 2 together 3 times. 1, 2, and 3. We're at our starting point to do the next diamond. See, now we have this diamond to do here. So you're going to knit your way over 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, wrap and turn, knit 2, wrap and turn, knit 2, knit 2 together, wrap and turn, knit 3, 1, 2, 3, knit 2 together, wrap and turn, knit 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, knit 2 2 together, wrap and turn, knit 5, knit 2 together, wrap and turn, knit 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, wrap and turn, knit 4, wrap and turn, knit 3, wrap and turn, knit 2, wrap and turn, knit 2. Alright, here we go. We finished our next 2 diamonds. So there's our first 3, there's our next 2, there's our 1, there's our next 2. Alright, in order to do the last 3, we're going to have to do like we did before. We're going to have to knit our way over to here and then purl our way back and start again. Okay, so knit 2 together 3 times, knit 1, knit 2 together 3 times, knit 1. Okay, so we're back to here, and now we need to work our way all the way back over to this silver stitch marker here, which isn't our starting point, which is here to our stitch marker. Okay, because we want to do 3 diamonds and then finish the row. And in fact, once I get to here, the row will complete like normal. Okay, so starting with the peg you finished with, purl your way over to the other side. So here's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, okay, back to where we were. Purl, and purl, and purl. Then we're going to purl 2 together, 1, 2, 3, and then we're going to purl singles 5 times, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then we're going to purl 2 together 3 times, 1, 2, 3, purl 1, purl 2 together 3 times, 1, 2, and 3. We are now back what would be our typical row by row kind of thing. Okay, so we're going to do our 3 and then just continue all the way around, and that's basically your heel. Alright, and as you can see, there's your 3 diamonds, your 2, your 1, then your 2, and then you're going to do your 3. So at this point you're starting the row like you normally would, and then you're going to be starting back your diamond set 1 and 2 again, and you're starting with the first one at this point, and then working your way around, and then doing your second diamond and working your way around, and you're going to do that for the length that you need for your foot, because we're not going to do much in the way of a toe. The heel's the big thing because that's a dramatic difference. The toe is not, and I'll show you how to complete the toe. The toe is a really simple toe. So I'll get you started so you have an idea of what you're doing, but you've already done, like, if you were starting the first row of diamonds that I showed you back here, you've already done your knit over 5, okay? And so what you're going to do is you're going to start your diamond. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then you wrap and turn. So this should start to look familiar at this point. This shouldn't look foreign to you. Knit 2 together, wrap and turn, knit 3, and I'll start the first diamond for you, but then you're just going to do everything like normal all the way around, and you're just going to continue your diamonding. This diamond, then the purl row, then the stagger, then another diamond row, purl, and then the stagger. So you're going to continue like you did at the very beginning of the ankle of the sock, and you're going to do that for a number of times. It's probably going to be about 4 or 5 times, I imagine. It depends on what your length of your foot is. This is where there's a lot of give. But you're actually going to be working it to most of the end of the toe. Because you're only going to do a weird diamond setup for the toe, because the toe don't need much. Toe don't have a whole lot of shaping to it like the heel does. Wrap and turn, knit 2, you completed your diamonding. As you can see, then you're going to go over to the next one. So there's knit 2 together, 1, 2, 3. You're at your starting point. Knit over 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Wrap and turn, knit 2, wrap and turn. As again, I'm going to tell you to pause the video and complete this row of diamonding, then do a purl, then do the stagger diamonding, and do a purl, then go back to your first diamond pattern and continue what you were doing at the ankle. So at this point you're continuing what you do at the ankle. I've showed you the most complicated part of the heel, and at this point everything is going to run like normal, like you did for the ankle. Okay, and we'll show you this diamond and the setup for the next one, and then I'm going to tell you to go forth and finish the foot part, and then I'll show you the toe. The heel is your longest part because it's the most complicated. Wrap and turn, but you will have officially completed the heel. Wrap and turn. turn. Wrap and turn. You'll finish the next diamond, as you can see. And you can see your pocket right there. See? There's your heel. Okay. I'm going to show you the get started on the next diamond, and then I'm going to let you run off and continue. There's our starting point, so knit over 5. Alright, and then start your wrap and turn. And finish the diamond up, and then work your way over to the next one, and then the next one. And then you do your pearl, then you do your stagger diamond, working between the gold ones. Then you do your pearl row, then you work between the silver ones, and do your pearl row. And basically you're working the ankle patterning again. Okay, so you're going to work the ankle patterning here, down the foot. Okay. And you're going to do that probably, my guess, will be, I'm going to say 5 or 6 times. Start with 5, gauge your length from that point, and then if you need to, do 6. Because that's starting to look a little bit like the length of your foot. But you'll need to gauge it on your foot mold that I've taught you to do if you're a heavy follower, where you trace out your foot with your weight on it and then cut it out. And what you want to do is you want to stick that heel into that bottom point right there and pull it back. And you want to go as far to the toe as possible, probably leaving about an inch for the tip of the toe. And that's when we'll do our heel. Okay, and I'll show you that in the next step. But go ahead, pause the video and complete the chunking of your foot. And again, what you're doing is you're doing the diamondings like you did at the beginning where the ankle is. Okay, so pause the video, get your foot done, and I'll show you how to do the toe. Okay, I ended up doing this after I finished my heel row, which was this here. Okay, so after I did that, then I did my next diamond, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I did it 6 times total. This may adjust differently for you. You may have a shorter foot, longer foot. You may need to do this more. But I did it 6 times. After I finished the heel, I just kept doing the stagger until I got the length I wanted. And what I'm to is doing my gold sections here, and I'm going to show you how to do the toe. The toe is going to be really quick, actually. What you're going to do is you figure out where your heel is, and you see my heel's in here, and my point was, I think, right here. There's my point. Alright, so there's where my heel center is. Alright, so what I want to do is I want to do a diamond here and a diamond here, and then I want to do a diamond on the opposite side. Alright, so what I need to do is I need to knit my way over to the next gold. Okay, so that means I'm knitting over to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Alright, I'm going to knit over 8, and then I'm going to do 2 diamonds like normal. So we're going to knit over 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we're going to start our wrap and turn. So we're going to do a diamond like normal for the next 2 sections. And the toe is actually really easy. There's no special stitch work. You're going to sew it together once you're done. You're just going to bind it off and sew it together, and I'll show you how that's done. So the hard part's keeping up with the diamonds, in my personal opinion. But if you're able to keep up with the diamonds, that's not too difficult. Okay, there's the end of our first diamond, so knit 2 together over to your next section. Alright, then you're going to work your next diamond, so knit over 5. Alright, wrap and turn, knit 2, so get your diamond, your next diamond set up. Okay, we're done with our next square, so there's our 2. Now we need to skip over to the next, skip the next 8 and do 1 here. Alright, so what you want to do is you want to knit your 2 together 3 times. 1, 2, 3. Then you want to knit over 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Then what you want to do is your diamond. So knit over 5. And then you want to start your diamond. So wrap and turn, knit 2, wrap and turn. So do your diamond like normal. Okay, now knit 2 together back to your starting point. Now normally we would purl our next row, but we're not going to do that. Now what you've just done is you've created a diamond here and a diamond here and a diamond here. Now if you know your diamonds, you know that this diamond is going to sit nicely between this point of this diamond is going to slip nicely to the center point here to create the finish so that everything is done in diamonds. Okay, so what you want to do is you want to go ahead and bind off, and when you run into 2 pegs like that, just go ahead and knit them together. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to knit 2, take 1 back, toss it over, and kind of do this lightly. Don't do a real tight bind off. Knit the next one, take it back, toss the bottom loop over. Because you're creating a chain, okay, and you're going to be sewing the back side of the chain, so then it looks like a purl. Alright, so it gives the groove. So there's method to the madness here. But yeah, what you want to do is you want to do a light bind off. Don't be real tight with your bind off, okay? You just kind of want to lightly toss it over, move it over. Don't be tight with, okay? I'm about to reach the 2 peg points, so I can show you how that's done. Okay, when you get to the 2 peg, you just toss both loops over. See? Move that over. Okay, so you're just tossing both loops over. Treat it as one. But you want to do this all the way around, okay? So I'm going to tell you to pause the video and go ahead and bind off all the way around, and then I will show you how to sew up the toe. And let me tell you, it's not as difficult as you might think, okay? So go ahead and pause the video, finish your bind off all the way around, and I will show you the sew up. Okay, I've binded off, And there's your 2 diamonds, and there's your single. And you're going to kind of go in and line it up to where that center point is there. Okay, so now you know that's the base. Your starting point is at like the base of the point of your diamond, which is going to be the start of the top point. Okay, well, you'll see a chain kind of thing through here, and what you want to do is you want to pick up the inside of the chain. All right, so because what that'll do when you pick up the inside of the chain, what it does is it allows there to be a ridging that you can see right there. There'll be a ridging that looks like this purl stitch like you've been doing. Okay, so it keeps with that look. All right, so once you hit that top point, what you want to do is you want to go to the next point up, pull through, chain in, and follow it down to the point. Okay, go to the next one and go to the next one. All right, so you're going to keep following that inner chain down to the tip of the point. All right, so the tip of that point of that single one ends up right where it should. All right. And then you want to make sure the side point here lines up with the top point there. So that's the other thing you got to make sure of. Okay. Then once you get over there, you're just going to finish over and it'll finish lining up. Okay. And yes, you'll have this over here that you have to go in and sew up real quick. And I'll show you a little trick to that. But what you want to do is you want to continue what you've been doing. Sewing the inner side of the chain, and you want to go all the way to the end. Okay. All right. Now kind of stretch that out. Now, what you want to do is you want to kind of weave the yarn in and out all the way back to the other side, or you could tie it off, but I don't like a lot of ends. All right, this is a personal preference. You do not have to do it this way. I just don't like a whole lot of ends. All right. The reason why you can pull this off like I did, okay, there's a reason behind this, is because of the fact that stretch that out there. Okay, gotta make sure that's nice and stretched. It's not too tight, because if you have it too tight, then you'll feel it at the tip. Okay. Now you want to finish sewing it up. Okay, down the other side, keeping it fairly loose. Alright, but the reason why you can simplify the toe as much as this is because your toe doesn't have as much shape that you have to fill in as the heel does. Okay, so when you get that done, what I like to do is make sure that that's nice and stretched out, and that will fold under a little to create that toe area, as you can see. Alright, so what we want to do now is we want to turn it inside out. Go ahead and stick that needle in there. Turn it inside out. Pull through. Alright, and then what you want to do is tie it off. So, 1, 2, 3. So, you want to tie that off and cut it. Okay, so you pull it through, and what you'll want to do is round off that toe, as you can see. Okay, there is your toe. Okay, so you have the whole thing done in diamonds, and let me tell you, it fits. All right, there's your heel, there's your foot, there's your toe. Looks just like a sock, but the whole thing is done in diamonds. Make sure you wrap your end up over here, but then that's how you make a faux entrelac sock. And it's a little bit of a challenge in areas. It's mostly wraps and turns and continuing your diamond concept. The heel is your most challenging spot. The toe is not so bad, so it might be a little bit more difficult. But once you get the hang of this, it's not too bad. I've figured out how to make it in about any loom that I want, but you know, that's more of a challenge. You have a little bit of math to do constantly if you want to change it up, and a lot of times you have to change what kind of diamond. Sometimes it's 7, sometimes it's 8, sometimes it's 6. But this is on the 40 3/8 inch gauge, and it fits me very nicely. And do keep in mind, because of the way the faux entrelac works, it's going to sit a little bigger than what you would normally have. And I know it's normally a flat knit stitch, but something about adding the purling in makes it a little wider. But that's how you make a faux entrelac sock.